currently looking for jobs, but they can be, and it fixes the talent gap created by other traditional recruitment methods. So focusing on passive candidates. Most passive candidates are in Generation X and Y, meaning that they're usually younger. These people aren't tied down to jobs. They're not tied down because they don't need to be in a certain location or because of convenience. They don't have families or anything. So they're usually eager for different working experiences. And these candidates usually have the best talent and are willing to leave their current employers for a better opportunity if they see one. It also gives companies increased visibility. 60% of people who use the internet use social media daily, so if companies use social media recruitment, they can be getting a bigger audience for their open positions. It also allows for a shorter time to recruit. It enables candidates to respond to job postings and employers to receive them immediately. And it also makes filling vacant positions easier and faster because there isn't like that time gap between like putting the posting out and getting responses back. It's pretty instantaneous. It also allows for better and higher quality employees. Employees recruited via social media are generally more productive and creative because they, going back to the passive candidates, they weren't necessarily looking for the job, but they wanted to leave their job for anyone generally. And it also gives employers a better idea of who they're employing when they use this method. It also gives, it's easier to screen candidates this way. So using social media allows for employers to understand their candidates better by profile screening, and I'll go more into that later. But it just gives employers a better idea of who is sending in their resume at first and who they're going to be meeting at an interview before they come in. Some potential legal issues with this though is before screening candidates, employers actually have to ask their potential employees for this. They have to make sure that they're aware that they're doing this, and they can't use it as a discriminatory thing. So ways that risks can be avoided. It's recommended that when you use profile screening for social media recruitment that it's actually one of the last steps, and it should be done by an HR professional, not by the person conducting the interview. And there's certain parameters that need to be maintained when looking at someone's profile. You can't just look at anything, you have to look at certain things specifically. But it does give companies a competitive advantage. Using social media allows for the company to be cutting edge and current. It gives that cool factor that certain employees are looking for. It makes them more accessible and just overall like more cutting edge. But social media is a two-way street, so just like employees or future employees need to have a good social media presence, so do employers, and that basically just goes along like not publicly sharing exploits and making sure that everything is like in order and presentable to the public. Some cons of social media recruitment is that not everyone is who they portray themselves to be on social media. This goes for companies and people. You can post a picture and say certain things on social media, but that isn't who you necessarily are in person, or vice versa. And then just the cons continued. So examining a social media profile is not the same as actually interviewing a candidate. It goes along with not everyone is who they say they are. So if, it's not the interview process. The interview process still has to take place. And that's why they recommend that you do this last. And then just relating this back to myself, I've personally used social media recruitment to find potential internships and job listings, specifically on LinkedIn. They're usually more prevalent on that website than they are on like Facebook or Twitter, things like that.
Hi guys, I'm going to be talking about internet recruiting also, but instead of social media, I'm going to be talking about job postings. Okay, so first, what is internet recruiting? As Steph has mentioned, it is using current technology to locate job seekers with specific qualifications through online sites. It's also known as e-recruitment sometimes. If you see that on social media or on Google, that's also internet recruiting. What is it? It's a quick and easy way to find potential employees or employers. You can do this without having to physically go out and search for them or recruit them on your own. You can do it via computer. Why is it so popular? Because many people today are using online postings because of today's technology, and if they don't follow, they will probably fall behind. In today's world, everyone is using iPhones. No one's really going out and like searching through newspapers to find jobs. There's two different types, I guess you could say, to go find a job. You can go through like directly to the site, such as going on wawa.com or something along those lines, and there's something that'll say now hiring. Or you can go through sites such as Monster and care.com, and you can go and post your jobs there or try to find a job. Like I said, you can go online and usually in big bold letters it'll say, we're hiring, then they'll have some qualifications of what they're looking for, and that way you can do it through there. Like I said, you can go through Monster, Snagajob, Indeed.com, all of these you can go and post. Well, you can do it two ways. You can post your jobs, or people can go on there and search for certain things that they're looking for, and you can like go through and find what you're specifically looking for. Like Steph also has mentioned, it creates competitive advantage because it gives a wide variety of people. It's not like you have to walk into a store and fill out a job application. There's so many different people with different skills that are coming out for the job, so it really gives businesses a way to file out who they're looking for. The process of job postings, first you obviously need to find the job. You need to search what you're looking for or what attracts you. Like they said before in the other slides, you don't want a job that you're not going to be satisfied with. Continued, you must access the application or whatever they're looking for. Then you can meet up physically for an interview, and that's where it really gets personal. Finally, you can see what they're all about, and then obviously lastly, if the interview went well, you could be hired or you could not be hired. RMS is Recruitment Management Systems. It is a way, a tool that is user-friendly, and you can automatically post jobs, and it's in a format where everything is kind of tracked, so it's kept, it's like saved. Then advantages of this is it's confidentiality, it's just between you two, and like I said, it is saved from previous searches, so you could always go back and like add on, or if you go back for the job or back to the company, they usually have what you already told them. Also, it's state of the art, like I said. It's in today's technology, everything is state of the art. So, and it's very updated and relevant. Like, sorry, I'm sick. It's updated and relevant to today's world. Some disadvantages is that although it could be a good thing, it also could be a bad thing when you get a lot of responses, because it's hard to file out exactly what you're looking for, and there's so much going on that some can be lost in translation. Like I said, it's very impersonal until you get to an interview, and sometimes that doesn't even happen. And technology, we all know, has issues sometimes and gets messed up. These are just some statistics about job postings, but 73% of jobs are 18 to 34-year-olds have found through social recruitment. So this is obviously a younger crowd are finding it through online internet. What to include on an application. Your personal information, obviously your education, when you're available, some references so they can look from previous jobs, and skills and accomplishments that you're good at for that job specifically. What to include for an employer. So if you're posting a job on a site like Monster or something, you want to explain why you should join, why someone should want to join your team. You want to be completely honest with them and what they can bring to the table and offer that will grow with their company. So something is both ends should always stay positive through the process, just because It's through the internet, doesn't mean it shouldn't be taken seriously, and if both ends are very positive and honest with one another, it's usually in their favor. And so I actually was, I wasn't the recruiter myself, but I went on and I was looking for a job, so I went through care.com and was posting and found a job through babysitting back when a few years ago. So I've been doing that for the past 3 summers because it was also seasonal, so I didn't want something that was going to be all throughout the year. And also, one other thing, when I was talking about disadvantages, when I was actually doing my presentation, I had talked to one of my friends, and she said that her sister actually did the same thing, went on care.com, and the guy was from Pennsylvania, but he said he was moving to New Jersey, so he wanted her to pick like a location that was closest to her, and it kind of got like really weird, and he was like sending her money. So like just be careful also on those sites because sometimes they can get a little fishy.
Are you done?
Yeah.
I was writing notes up here. I lost track. I'm sorry. I thought there was more. I wanted more. Would you just do it again?
Maybe next week.
Every week we'll just do it all over again.